And we're back. Boy, has this been a fun-filled afternoon of awards so far. No real conflict at all happening here. Everyone in agreement. It's just really a beautiful thing. So we've come here to declare the best Xbox One game of 2020.
So this is a quiet one. I mean, it's not the quietest one.
Oh, hey, can Xbox One win quietest lobby? Is that
The whole console? No,
Quietest console.
we've already given out that award. It's too late.
Yeah.
Xbox One had a few good games, I guess.
And Battletoads.
As the person
Yeah, it had good games
who
and it had
played
Battletoads.
more Xbox Series X than any of you losers, especially in the month of October, I can say that
Yeah, we just don't.
you should just beat the gavel right now, and let's just put an X.
The thing is, Microsoft had games this year. They all released on PC day and date. Like
Yeah,
I know
that's the problem now. Yeah.
It
You really
doesn't
like-
matter.
Like which one?
A game can release on
Like-
PC and Xbox One and be eligible for this.
Well,
Yeah, we've
the
been
reason-
talking Spelunky
The only reason
all
I
day.
say that, the reason I say that is because when I start naming games, people are gonna be like, "That's on PC. I played that on my computer." Like, tell me why I know you really liked Ozzy, which was a first-party was published by Microsoft. It was
Ori and the Will of the Wisps. I mean, I
Yeah.
love that first
And
Ori
that
so
came
much,
out
but
it came out months ago.
I know.
Oh wait, is this Xbox One or Series X? I'm
One.
This
confused.
is one.
Oh, I'm stupid.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's okay, Krabs. No, I don't
No,
blame
it's
Krabs
Microsoft that's stupid for not naming
No, I
their
don't blame
consoles
Krabs on
better
this.
than Nintendo.
because we had that moment of silence that we were talking about doing as a riff for like Series X, and we said we started doing it now.
I think because both these consoles have had very pathetic lineups this year.
Yeah. I
No,
think
but
that
at least
might be
Xbox
a
One,
bit
I could
authentic.
say
There are
Ori was
games
a
that came
genuinely
out
good
on
game.
Xbox One this year. Like Bleeding Edge came out this year. Wasteland 3 came out this year. You know,
Gears Tactics was a thing that happened.
Gears
Grounded
Tactics happened.
Came out on early access.
Grounded was a game that came out in early access in the Xbox Game Preview. Even though Sam's not here, Halo Master Chief Collection got things added to it this year.
The thing about Gears Tactics is, like, you know, if you set aside the fact that it's Gears lore and, like, that's a dumpster fire at this point, I keep hearing that's a really good strategy game.
It
How
is.
could you possibly set aside the riveting story of the Diaz family?
I can't wait to hear more about Kate Diaz's other uncle.
I sympathize with this argument so much as the guy who had to review Gears of War Judgment, who didn't give a single shit about any of those characters. So
You know what,
I
The
Ozzy,
understand this
entire
argument.
history of all of Gears of War, they're all the world's shittiest stories.
Gears of
Now
War
you can immerse
Judgment
yourself
is
in the shit
better
turn
than
by
Gears
turn.
5. There, I said it.
No, now you're just talking crazy.
No, I'm not. I'm dead serious.
Judgment was
No.
garbage.
I at least finished Judgment. Like, I had,
Nah.
there's something so bad in Gears 5, I put down my
Yeah, I
controller
think-
and I was like, I'm not coming back to this.
I finished Judgment for a couple reasons. One, I was reviewing it. Two, was like, okay, it has to get better, right?
It doesn't.
Like, it does not.
It's just like,
They
ugh.
put me through the ringer that month here at Shack because I had to review Judgment and I had to review that God of War spinoff, which was no good, which almost killed the series. Ascension.
Oh, yeah.
That
You
piece
both
of garbage.
the same month? Ugh,
Yeah, it was all the same month.
that wasn't me.
To be fair,
No.
I like Judgment only because I like Bard because I related to him in the series the most.
Baird.
Didn't relate to
Yeah.
his name.
I can't even
Scooby
remember
Bard.
his name.
It's been
Yes.
a while since I played a Gears game, but I remember just like he seemed like the kind of guy who wasn't supposed to be in the group but was there. You know what I mean? Like the tech guy that doesn't, you know, like he wasn't.
But
a
what
badass.
else? But what else is a 6'5" man who has 12-foot
I
wide
know.
shoulders and all this stuff supposed to do in this universe?
Well, that's
Build
just Unreal
robots.
Engine doing its Unreal
Build
Engine.
robots.
Shitty
that-
story aside, Gears Tactics as a game is actually good, right?
Yeah.
I would say so. Like, it's not. It's. I wouldn't argue that it's like even the best strategy game of the year, but it was like a very passable mesh of Gears of War things with XCOM style strategy.
Well, I'm glad we got that out of the way because I think for Xbox One it's probably a two-horse race. There's
Oh, wait. Minecraft Dungeons came out this year.
that's good, but I wouldn't call it the best.
It's
I
still
like
a
it.
game that came out on Xbox. I'm just
Yes.
working on trying to list games that are on.
Just scraping the barrel. Just
Hey, that's not scraping. That's not a
scraping
bad
it.
game.
But like, if we're looking at like from a quality standpoint, I mean, first one we got to talk about is Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Which
Yeah.
Yeah.
we've been talking so much these last few categories about games that look gorgeous and games that like are like art forms. How do we not talk about Ori in like I mean, obviously we're talking about PlayStation, but Ori belongs in any conversation in terms of like best art style and best graphics and that sort of thing. Because God, that's a gorgeous game. And in terms of atmosphere, like we talked about atmosphere, some of these other games in the past categories, but the atmosphere it sets up in Ori with the orchestral score and with the environments and just with the gorgeous colors. I'm so taken in by that world. I love playing Ori. I love exploring that area, and I don't even get mad at it when I get cheaply killed. I try to do the no death run, and it's just like, okay, like I walk this, boom, flattened, it's out of nowhere. It has cheap deaths, but like the platforming is awesome. And Krabs can actually speak more to the art style and just like the visuals, even though he played it on PC and we're talking about Xbox, but it's the same thing almost.
It's the same game.
It's the same game.
Let's get serious Xbox question. And I
Yes.
need people to listen closely to my mic for a second for this. Never mind. I had a rattle in here. So there's a piece, a literal piece broken inside of my controller. And when I shook it, it was like rattling around. But it apparently has either nope.
Oh, there it goes.
I hear it.
Oh, nice.
Best rattle.
What the
Doesn't
fuck
work
is that?
controller.
Yeah, there it was.
What'd you do?
Is
to
that
it?
normal? Does this happen with other people's Xbox that they probably don't own? I don't know.
After I throw them, yes.
Yeah, I mean, how often have you thrown your controller?
This fucking-
I don't know,
I was
probably
just
once
like,
every.
why-
Ori will make you throw your
7
controller
I
times.
took
sometimes.
it out of the package 5 minutes ago, and there's like this little piece that rattles inside of it.
Oh, the post office pre-broke it for you.
No, that's generous of them.
That's a feature.
Thanks, guys.
Well,
I will just say, if you're
I-
not playing Ori, you're missing out.
Yeah, like I gotta say, Ori is like. There are so many things I love about the way they do the Ori games. Like legitimately, some of the only music that can make me like makes my chest tight just listening to it.
Yes.
Like
Loosens up your bowels.
some very good implied storytelling in the way that just like everything in the environment, like for the set pieces, like interacts to like move the narrative forward. I absolutely love the Metroidvania aspect of it. I like how hard it is as a platformer. I enjoy like the engagement of mechanics and the way that they mesh together as you expand your abilities.
For
I
such
think
an
that-
adorable looking game, they make you work to advance in that game.
Yeah, like it's all of the things that people like about the original Super Metroid put into a very beautiful visual and oral package. And like I love that series. And I love it in every way.
how much do you love the little owl in the game?
So that's the thing I was about to bring up. The minute you start the game, you're introduced to this baby owl, and you're immediately like, I will die for this thing. I will kill everything if I have to for this adorable little baby owl. Like it pulls you in emotionally, like immediately. Like there's no downtime. Like you're emotionally invested in the story right away.
That was true of the
That-
first game too.
Yeah,
without
was gonna
saying
say-
Owl, but like that relationship that they show you at the beginning is like it tugs at your heartstrings for the rest of the game.
oh my god, like when your mother figure dies in the first game, it's like, no, why you do this to me? No. Why? Stop that. Stop making her push on the mother figure and check if she's alive. Just move on with the game. You're killing me.
It's a vintage Disney trope.
It's what I like to call it the Swamp of Sorrows moment
It
in
is.
gaming. And there's a few games that had good Swamp of Sorrows moments this time around. But yeah.
And they
does
teased
Grounded
that.
count? Good, but it's early access.
No,
early
Grounded
access.
does not count because it was an Xbox game preview
Okay.
release. So
They also
sorry.
teased that owl at the end
Okay.
of the first game, and I knew well before Ori 2 that I was gonna die for this owl someday.
But Battletoads is eligible, baby.
What about Bleeding Edge? Bleeding Edge is
Bleeding Edge is totally eligible for this category.
Okay, Bleeding Edge is a fair one. Battletoads.
Yeah.
I think
I'm
Greg was
sorry.
being
Yeah, it's
facetious.
bad.
He's
No,
a
the
little
other-
precocious simp, that Greg.
The other one I was going to segue to and pitch over to Josh was Wasteland, because that seems to be the other jam on Xbox this year.
Yeah, no, Wasteland, man. So much. God, you guys are letting me talk too much today. There's so much that's good about Wasteland 3, and I haven't played the console version myself, but I have watched some videos on it, and just the fact that they've taken such a complex UI and managed to make it even remotely usable on a console is one of those things that still just baffles me and like makes me sit here in awe of what developers are able to do. Like, as someone that doesn't have any experience creating those kind of things, to see them able to twist and turn things so that they work the way that they need to is great. There's so much I could say about Wasteland 3, like the narrative, the gameplay itself. I've talked about this extensively in other sets, in other videos that we've done about our game of the year, like end of the year awards here. And if you're going to play one long form game this year, a game that is quite possibly going to take up to 60, 70, 80 hours of your time, I highly recommend Wasteland 3, whether you're playing it on the PC or playing it on the Xbox, or whatever other like platform it might be available on. Like, it's just such a great game, and inXile has done such a great job of like pulling that over to consoles. Like, the genre is something that you really wouldn't have seen on consoles before, and the fact that they've brought it over and they've managed to maintain the feeling and the like ease of like going through your inventory and stuff like that on console in a usable way is well worth praising.
So the controls.
Josh, you didn't play it on console, right?
No,
So
but I've watched gameplay and stuff, and I've talked to you about it.
Yeah, I had to play it. I had to play it for you because remember your computer was down, having difficulty at this point. So I had to play to capture B-roll on the PC, and I loved it on the PC. I was like, can't wait to play this game on console. It's terrible on console. Like,
Is it?
Yes.
Everything I've seen looks like it would not be terrible on console.
I had to stop because I had like a bunch of hard. I've had hard crashes. It's like I had.
Ooh, things are looking up for Ori.
Things just take a long time. Like, I mean, I agree it's great that it's on Xbox, but like it doesn't run well, and it's really reminiscent of Wasteland Director's Cut. Like, just the game doesn't run well. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's
I,
not my vote for this category, but someone had to argue it.
That was actually a reason why I didn't bring Wasteland 3 up for PS4. Is that I have, as much as I enjoy that game, I have had some like hard crashes that like booted me out of the game and forced me to go back through a lot of stuff that I wouldn't suggest it like for console.
You know what did run well?
Experience.
You know what ran well on Xbox One? And
Destiny.
No, well, not Destiny. Never Destiny. Bleeding Edge ran great on console, and it's like the most people just forgot about this game.
Yeah,
it was kind of slept on, unfortunately.
It's a legit multiplayer game that's on Game Pass, and it's fun, and it's got good character design. Ninja Theory, made a game that wasn't as spooky as Hellblade, so I appreciate that. It's a game that came out on Xbox One this year, and it's actually a competent multiplayer game. So,
and it's technically an arena shooter. That's even.
It's not a shooter; it's a brawler.
I guess. Okay. Yeah. I guess. Yeah.
But it is an arena brawler.
It's an Overwatch.
I mean, it isn't. It isn't, man. It's third person, and I feel like the team tactics are much more important in Bleeding Edge, as far as like having to stick together and like really think about your team balance.
Mm-hmm. I think with the revive mechanic and stuff like that, it's a little, it's different than Overwatch. Sure, it has a hero mechanic, but Overwatch didn't invent hero mechanics. They just Blizzard.
No, I know.
That's like saying League of Legends is Overwatch because they have unique characters.
It is.
It's not, because League of Legends existed before Overwatch. The saying that Coke is Pepsi.
It is.
I mean,
I'm
there's
not
so
going to
many-
explain League of Legends to the League of Legends player.
I'm
Who
not
else has
either.
played League of Legends in this room?
No.
There you go.
I've watched enough of it to feel like I've played it.
We gotta
We'll
claim
talk
the
about
effort
it on
several
Live
times,
World.
Asif, then you get
Me
the full
and-
experience.
Me and AOC are going to be sitting over here in our silver grind, knowing what the deal is.
I got repetitive
Just
stress
a cheap
injuries.
version of Heroes of Newerth.
Oh God, not.
This cheap version of Heroes of the Storm.
Of course.
That's one of the
Oh,
games
but
that
hey,
got
Heroes
really
of the
big
Storm
again.
is still awesome. They just added
We should
Hogger.
give Heroes of the Storm an award just for still existing.
I
I'm
like
not
that
taking-
game. I still play that again.
I was just being facetious, though. I like Bleeding Edge. I think it's a really good example of the hero mechanic, team-based competitive game.
Yeah, I think in a world where like arena shooters kind of got like abruptly pushed to the side for battle royale, I think it's a really like I think it deserves some recognition.
It's a unique take, and it runs well on Xbox. It runs well on PC. It's got cross-platform play between those two. It's on Game Pass, which I don't think is necessarily everything's on Game Pass now, so it's not like that big of a deal. But
Everybody gets a hoverboard.
yeah, the game has a hoverboard. You spawn with the freaking hoverboard.
Not everybody. I mean, there's a
Oh, yeah,
there's
that's
a
true.
woman with that's big.
She's
that
like
turns
a-
into a
she's-
motorcycle.
Yeah, she has like a rascal or something.
She's
Yeah.
well, no, she's a wheel.
She
has
is a
wheels for
rascal.
legs.
Yeah, that's right.
We
She is a
did.
rascal.
That's a visual watching somebody going to battle on a rascal.
Basically, this game. And any game with a hoverboard, I'm all about. So
Yeah, I mean, we did what, like 2, maybe 3, like streams together, all of us with Bleeding Edge, and it was a lot of fun. They really nailed the aesthetics that they were going for, and just like honestly, like the combat and stuff feels really good too. I can't remember playing a single character that felt out of place or like didn't feel like they were really balanced. Like every character we played, like it all felt pretty balanced. Like it was a game that really came down to managing your attacks and like working with your teammates. Like the times that we played, we got our butts handed to us quite a bit, but it was never because of the game. Like it was always because of us like breaking away and not communicating like we needed to.
it has
Did
that
they-
one level
when we-
with the monorail at the top you can ride around.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can also get run over by it.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
I
think
thought
we-
the
we
level
all died to
design was
that a
really
few
fun,
times.
which is like hugely important in an arena game. And
I think
to
the-
Josh's point, the different hero mechanics are. You don't really ship that often with a well balanced game, and they actually did. So I think. they
Yeah, I mean, we
did
played
that.
it launch day, I want to say.
Yeah, we played it with the devs. I think on launch day.
Yeah, and like, I mean, every like, all of the characters felt pretty well balanced. Like nothing felt insanely overpowered or anything like that. Like, I mean, and we changed up our characters quite a lot throughout. Like, we all kind of mishmashed and stuff.
Yeah, I think as far as I'm concerned, like from having played a lot of games like that, the main limitation on Bleeding Edge right now is something that will like become not a limitation over time, and that's like, to me, the roster is a little bit limited, but like that's all games like that when they first come out. I feel like with a few seasons worth of characters, that game is going to continue to pop and become more interesting as long as it continues to get the support. But like, again, that's a gripe I have with a lot of games, is that it feels like it's really easy to like feel out the characters, and I wouldn't say get bored with them, but I would say like want for something, feel the limitations of that roster and want for something more.
Yeah. Does anyone else have any nominations for this category?
Crackdown 3.
Nope.
Overruled.
Nope. Crackdown 3 is dead and buried in 2019.
Nobody ever
Crackdown
wants a
4?
crackdown in a box.
We're done.
There
with
is no crackdown for. There's only Zool.
And Gears 5 is not eligible for this. Gears Tactics is.
Let's do this. Let's rip
That's
the
fine.
band-aid off this
That's
one.
good.
Are you folks ready to vote?
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, so we're doing. What is this? Best Xbox game?
The Falconeer.
No.
Just kidding.
That wasn't that a Series X game, or is that both?
It was
Just
on
both.
both.
Okay,
Everywhere.
but
It was on
yes.
both, but it came out like
On the
Series.
Series X, it was just 120 hertz of disappointment.
That's a box quote if I've ever heard. Holy shit.
Fucking
Okay.
awful. Chris,
Wow.
so mean.
That is really, really mean, but I love it. Okay, votes. Who wants to start this?
Ori.
Ozzy
Yeah.
for Ori.
Ori in the Fields of the Forest.
Yeah.
DJ also on Ori.
I love Bleeding Edge, and I've had a lot of fun with it. But Ori is a great Metroidvania that looks gorgeous and makes you fall in love with the little baby owl. And it's that little baby owl that I think is going to give it the edge here. It was like a precursor. No, it wasn't not a precursor to Baby Yoda. It's like analog of Baby Yoda. For people.
Not everything's Star Wars. Okay, Sam's not voting. Chris.
Ori.
Ori. Donovan.
It's Ori.
Ori. Bill.
Bill, you're muted. Shake
I'm
your
not
mic.
muted.
Now you're not.
Now we can hear you.
Oh, I mine just not picked me up. I said Ori.
Ori. Josh.
I love Wasteland 3. The concerns about crashing and stuff, definitely valid from Greg. He didn't really speak to the UI itself, but I think that as far as like the best Xbox One game goes, like you just can't beat Ori this year. It's just so good.
They did do a good job with
I'm
the
pretty
console
sure
UI, Josh.
Sam would vote for Halo here.
He would.
Bravo.
Steve.
Ori. Ori.
Ori. David.
Ori.
Wow. Wow. Greg.
Bleeding Edge. I think Ori has that legacy that it was going to be good. I think making that kind of a game in this environment is really difficult. You know, to get kids off Fortnite or whatever they're playing to play a different game is difficult. And I have bias because the creative director and game director are both really nice people when I talk to them at E3.
That's fair. I actually am also going to vote for Bleeding Edge because I know my vote is worthless at this point.
No, it deserves some love, man. That game did not get enough love this year. And
Yeah,
it's so good.
I really enjoyed it. It's a game on Xbox One, and I probably had the most fun playing it. I haven't had a chance to go back and beat Ori and the Will of the Wisps all the way through
If
yet.
only you had Most Overlooked to do over again.
What did we give Most Overlooked to?
Fuser.
That's pretty fair.
I look
Totally
forward
fair.
to putting. I look forward to seeing if Bleeding Edge can come back for most improved game next year.
Yeah, like, because I agree with TJ. If they give it some attention and some love, like, that game can continue to grow. But the kernel that they got there, the core gameplay is very good.
Mhm.
And I wanted to give it some love, and I know Sam would just inexplicably vote for Halo Master Chief Collection wherever he can. So, let's see.
I almost
1,
wish he was here to
2,
do that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 votes for Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Congratulations to Moon Studio. Is it Studios? Probably. Studios. Moon Studios. You have won the Shacknews Award for Best Xbox One Game of 2020.